Every day in the USA, people find themselves in court.
Okay, you were Brandon Wise?
Yes, sir.
Two cases here, a call 24 CR 1139 and 24 CR 1792. There are first amended motions to revoke probation filed on November 6th, 2025 in each case. Mr. West is here as your attorney and the state's attorney is here. We are moving forward on this. We're going to have a hearing now. I think everybody can, these are going to be administrative matters. And raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any statements that you make during this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, lower your hand. The defendant waive formal readings of these first amended motions to revoke probation. Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, sir.
In summary, these motions state in 24 CR 1139 first that on May 14th, 2025, in this court, you were sentenced to 10 years in prison, probated for 10 years for assault family, a household member by impeding breath or circulation, choking. Is that true? You were placed on probation for that. All right. And in 24 CR 1792, this states that on the same day, May 14th, 2025, you were sentenced to 10 years in prison, and that was suspended for 10 years probation for the third-degree felony of obstruction or retaliation. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Allegation 2, in each of these cases and these motions to revoke probation, and we can take these together.
I think that'd be best, right?
Okay.
Yes.
These states that number 2 states that you failed to report to the Jefferson County Probation Office for the months of August, September, and October of 2025, which violated your probation order of regular reporting to the probation office. Is that true or untrue in each case?
True.
Are you pleading true voluntarily and because those allegations are true? That's a question. Are you pleading true because it is true?
Yes.
Do you understand that a voluntarily and knowingly made plea of truth to one or more violations of probation, that is enough to grant a motion to revoke probation? Your probation can be revoked and you can be sentenced to no less than 2 nor more than 10 years confinement in prison in each case. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Knowing that, do you insist on pleading true nonetheless to this? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
I find you were pleading true voluntarily. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading true. Next, allegation 3 states that you failed to fail. That's it.
I must have
I'm
been
gonna
thinking
take-
about me, Judge, instead of him. So
I'm going to take failed to the first failed coupling
No objection, Your Honor. That's just a
deleted.
graphical order or typographical error.
You okay there, John?
Not really.
You sound like you got the allergy.
I think he's allergic to me.
Yeah.
He was doing fine till we got up here.
All right. Each of these number 3 violations in each of these motions to revoke probation, sir, allege that you failed to serve a term of 90 days in the county jail on successive weekends as ordered by this court as part of your probation order. Is that true or untrue?
True.
Are you pleading true to that? Voluntarily and because it is true as it is alleged.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you understand the same consequence can occur? Voluntary and knowingly made plea of true to one or more violations, including this one, can result in a finding of revocation of probation by a preponderance of the evidence or greater, and you can be your probation can be revoked and you can be sentenced to no less than 2 nor more than 10 years confinement in prison. Knowing that, do you insist on pleading true to allegation 3 in this first amended motion to revoke probation in each of these 2 cases? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Finally, number 4 states you failed to provide verification of.
We'll abandon 4.
I'm sorry?
I'll abandon 4. And 6.
5 states that number 5 states in
Just one motion.
24 CR 1139 that you failed to provide verification of entering and successfully completing the battery intervention and prevention program. It's called BIP, BIPP, and anger management. And you were directed by the probation officer to do that, and you failed to do that. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Are you pleading true to that one? Voluntarily.
Yes, sir.
That's allegation number 5 and cause number 24 CR 1139. A voluntary, you're pleading true voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently, and based upon discussions with your attorney, correct?
Yes, sir.
A voluntary and knowingly made plea of true to that violation can be enough to grant the motion to revoke probation in that case by preponderance of the evidence or greater, and your probation can be revoked for that one. And you can be sentenced to no less than 2, no more than 10 years confinement in prison. Knowing all of that, do you insist on pleading true in that, in cause number 1139 to allegation number 5 as well of your motion to revoke probation?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. I find you were pleading true in 1139 to allegations 2, 3, and 5, and in 1792 allegations 2 and 3 voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently, and based upon discussions with your attorney. That is enough to grant these first amended motions to revoke probation. Your probations can now be revoked and you can be sentenced up to 10 years in prison. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Did y'all want to take a moment maybe to discuss this or not? Or let me make the call?
Hey, you offer that.
You step aside, yeah, privately, see if y'all can resolve this. If not, I'm going to resolve it in a minute.
Do you need the pre-sentence report?
Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you for being.
No, he wants to make arguments for, we want to make.
Okay.
Let you make
All right, stand by.
Chance to speak to the court.
Go ahead. And you're still under oath.
Yes, go ahead. Mr. Wise.
I've already sworn you in, right?
Yes.
And you're still under oath. He's going to ask you some questions.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So you put your hand regarding these failures to appear for August, September, October, what happened? Why weren't you checking in on those dates?
I was really I was scared to come to jail behind the charge.
I'm having trouble hearing you.
Yeah, she's gotta hear you.
You got it.
I was scared to come to jail behind the charge that I didn't do.
You were scared to come to jail?
Yes, sir.
You were scared. Have you ever been in jail before?
No, sir.
Oh, weren't you
Well, like prison. No,
weren't you arrested for these charges initially back in
well, I've been
and put in jail in April of 24?
I think I can clear up there. When you say you're scared to come to jail, you were scared to go to prison, right?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
You'd been in county jail, but you never go to prison, right?
Yes,
Okay, so that's what you were worried about.
yes, sir.
Right. Is that also why you didn't come in for your 90 days for your county time on weekends, or why did you miss that?
That's part of the reason.
Okay, same thing. Okay, so you kind of just disappeared and thought it would go away.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. And community service, did you do any community service? Or did we abandon that? All right.
We abandoned that.
I'm not even talking about that. Okay, all right.
Yep.
And the BIP program is the other one we had. Why did you take that course and do that class?
It was hard for my transportation to get there.
Okay, she had trouble getting to and from.
They told me how to do it on microphone.
Right. They told you how to do it by a phone?
Yes, sir.
How many times do you have?
Were you doing it by phone or?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what do you want to happen today? You and I have talked about this, but this is your chance to tell the judge.
Well, I'm saying if I go to ISF.
Okay. Do you think ISF or something like that would be beneficial to you? Do you think it would help you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why do you think it would help you? What about that program you think would be good for you?
Like for my thinking.
Remember, keep talking loud. She's got to take it down.
For my thinking.
For what?
Thinking, by thinking.
Making better decisions
How far did you go in school?
to 12th grade.
Did you graduate?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And you're having a hard time thinking, but you graduated from high school, but you can't think?
I think Your Honor, it's more of making right decisions, not thinking, but making the right decisions in life. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Give me an example.
Okay.
Give me an example.
Okay, like example of what? Like how to handle stuff?
Yes, sir. Like how to handle situations.
Like situations like what? Like while you're on probation for?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Because you were originally charged with or convicted for, because you put on probation for assault, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You
You
assault.
have, okay, you were charged with assault by striking this lady about the head and body with your hands and choking her. Did you think that was the right thing to do?
No, sir.
Oh, okay, so you knew better then. You knew that was wrong, but you nonetheless did it, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you didn't have any problems figuring that. Choking somebody and punching the lady in the face was a bad thing. You knew that was bad, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is it you don't understand? You said you don't understand about things. What is it you don't understand? Because you did that in that case. Let's see, and then the other one is you intentionally threatened to harm someone, the police officer. Let's see, in this other case, and let's see, he arrested you. Then you stated, "I'm going to beat your ass in public, boy." Did you realize that was a threat? You had to. I mean, that's a threat to the police officer who was arresting you, right?
Right.
Okay. Did you know when you said that that was the wrong thing to say?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you didn't have any problems with that as well. What is it you're having problems in your thinking? You knew what you did was wrong in each of these cases when you did them.
Make better decisions.
Yeah, well, that's your decision. You know right from wrong. You elect to make the wrong choices. And here we are back again. We gave you a chance to fix all of this. These are serious crimes. And here we are. You've admitted, you're not even going to report, which is the only way we can help you. You're not on probation, really, because if you don't report, you're supervising yourself, which you haven't done well in that historically supervising yourself, because here you are with 2 felonies. Then you were supposed to serve a term of 90 days in the county jail. You decided you weren't going to do that. We gave you chances. We gave you second chance when I put you on probation. You're asking for a third and fourth chance now, but choices have consequences.
Yes.
You make the right choices, it ends up good. You make bad choices. What did you think by not reporting? You think ultimately we were going to just forget about it? Okay. When was he arrested? I'll talk here on this motion.
He's been in 7 days.
But it says he didn't report for August, September, and October of last year. When was he put into custody?
November 4th.
In November.
2024.
Okay, so he was arrested.
Yes, sir.
I'm looking here, you got 94 days credit in 1139 and 300, almost a year, 335 days credit in 1792. But you're looking at up to 10 years in prison. It's going to take more than that. Yeah. In these cases, let's see. threats. Yep, you've got it. If sentenced to 10 years, you've got to serve 2.5 years before you're paroled, and you've got a long way to go. But what are we going to do? You want to continue on?
That's exactly it. Continue with send them off to ISF and let them get some treatment and maybe get them back on the right path. So that's what we do.
How many chances have you had in the past on different matters? I mean, is this your first time you've ever been in trouble?
Just, I completed probation,
No, I'm asking, is this the first time you've ever been in trouble with the law?
yes,
It is? You wouldn't lie to me at this
just
stage,
with
would you?
record being in trouble, like, when,
Not be on probation, be in trouble at all. Arrested or in
charged with something.
oh, this is not my first
Okay,
time.
okay, yeah, don't.
Yeah, that's what I just asked you. I'm speaking English, you know that. Okay, well, how many times have you been arrested? You know better than anybody. I can tell you how many I have. Never been arrested. But those are important events.
Yes,
You have to know this is your life. How many times have you been arrested?
like 6 or 7,
What's your final answer?
I think like 7.
Okay. You would be wrong. Let's see, we've got illegal possession of marijuana here in 2014. And then you had to be arrested for that. And then you got 6 months deferred. Then unlawfully carrying a weapon in 2019, 2 days in jail. Then assault causing bodily injury. And I think that was 180 days in jail, 6 months in jail, probated. And then that was revoked and you were convicted in 2019. So that's 3. Then, criminal mischief in 2019, that was revoked and you get 60 days in jail. So there we go. That's 4. Theft of property, 3 months deferred in 2020, and you were placed on probation. So your arrest on that was 5. Driving with a license invalid in previous convictions, 1 day in jail, 6. Then illegal possession of marijuana, 2 days in jail in 24, DWI in 25, evading arrest or detention in 25. That's 9. I haven't even gotten to the felonies yet. Then you got in 2019, you were 2 years state jail, controlled substance, and so you were convicted of that and placed on regular probation. So that's 10. That's your first felony, illegal possession, 4 years deferred in 20, and then assault, these other 2. So there we are, 13. 13. Your math was terribly wrong. This isn't the first time you've been in trouble. You've been in here. We've dealt with you 13 separate times, and you're still not following the rule. What kind of example do we have to set? I mean, the next person that comes out, they're going to say, can I have the Brandon Wise rule? I've only been in trouble 10 times. Can I get another chance? Brandon Wise had 13 or 14, and he's asking for another chance. I can't set a bad example like that. You should have figured it out after the first time, right? What's state asking for?
Judge, we'd offered him 7. We'll stick with that. I think he's been in trouble a lot. And he did the most simple things, which was just reporting and showing up for his sanction.
I was hoping you would fix all of this and we'd put you on. I was really hoping for you because this is a long history and you promised you would do better. And here you are. You walked off the job. Really, you walked off the job. When you walk off the job, you get fired. You got to follow the rules. You're just on your own rules. That's not the way it works. We've got 5,000 people on probation. They're going to listen and go, what are you going to do with Brandon Wise? Because you cut him some slack, you got to cut me. I don't have to report. And when you do catch me, then I want to pick up where I left off, like he's asking for. I can't do that. All right, what did you want to say? If you want to say anything, go ahead. This is your chance.
Well, I was trying to see if I could do ISL. So I can,
No, you've had 13, 14 opportunities to do the right thing. You don't have to have ISF. All ISF is showing you what the right choices are, which we all know what they are. But you should have asked for that 13 arrests ago. We could have helped you. I'm not gonna wait for 13 arrests and convictions. They have procedures in the prisons to help people if you want to do that. But it's gonna be your choice. Anything else, John?
Nothing from us.
If nothing further by anybody, I'm going to find that there is sufficient evidence supporting these first admitted motions to revoke probation, to grant them by a preponderance of the evidence or greater in these two cases of 24 CR 1139, 24 CR 1792 in the state of Texas versus Brandon Wise. As the court finds in cause number 1139, allegations 2, 3, and 5 have been proven true by a preponderance of the evidence or greater. And in 1792, allegations 2 and 3 of the first amended motion to revoke probation have been proven true by a preponderance of the evidence or greater. Thus, I grant these first amended motions to revoke probation. Your probations in each of these cases are revoked, sir. You are hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 7 years, and these will run concurrently. You will be given credit for all time you have served in accordance with this case. You have 335 days in 1792 and 94 days credit in 1139. I wish 13 arrests ago you would have made the right choices. This is justice. That is all. Okay, we now call cause number 14-20493, the state of Texas versus Eden Chantel Jones. And Ms. Jones was sentenced to 2 years in standby. Was this 2 years in prison, probated for 5 years?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and $2,000 fine,
Yes, sir.
and then you have been on probation since 2015, but the mandate did not occur until 2016. So I guess we're coming up on an anniversary of 10 years.
Yes, sir.
And from probation,
Yes.
what's the status? I hope there's good news. It's just been bad news so far.
Mr. Jones has complied with the conditions of probation, and the only problem that we have is she still owes a large amount of restitution.
Yeah, that's got to get paid. That's how you fix things when there's a loss to the victim. If you break their arm, you can't unbreak it. But if it's money involved, you can pay them back. That's the way to do it. And that's how you fix it. You've been on probation well, this occurred over 10 years ago in 2014. And yes, the judgment reflected that fine wasn't as important to me as the restitution was. And restitution below. What was the restitution? I can't find it in here.
The conditions of probation were amended later to add the restitution because it was, to be determined.
Which was what? $26,136? No, that was, what was the total amount?
Yes, sir, $26,136.03.
Okay, and what is the balance now?
$25,684.03.
So in almost 10 years, not $1,000 has been paid?
No, sir, not towards restitution.
What about that?
I was making payments to the probation.
I'm sorry?
I said I was making payments to the probation. And then Ms. Broussard said that like I have to tell them where the payments go to for the restitution.
The payments were going in the proper order. We had to do an amendment to change it so that money would go towards the restitution instead of everything else. So she has been making payments, but at first it wasn't being applied to restitution.
Okay, but and since August 5th of 2015, that's when she was placed on probation, right?
Yes, sir. April 5th of 2016.
Yeah, April 5th.
Mhm.
And so what's, is there like a motion pending or something that's been filed? How are we continuing the probation?
That's what we did, the judicial review to see if we need to go ahead and file a motion.
Well, didn't her probation end?
No, it was extended.
It was extended, okay. Till when?
It's scheduled to expire April the 4th of 2020.
Okay, that's what I was curious about. All right. Well, there's no way she can pay $25,000 or whatever it is
Mhm.
overnight. She could, but it's not expected because over 10 years, we haven't paid $1,000 out of that, right? Oh, in 10 years. Well, your probation on my watch won't end until the restitution is paid.
Yes, sir.
You got to pay that back.
Yes, sir.
But it's at this rate, you'll be about 200 years old. I figured the math, you would be 200 years old before you paid it out, which is not practical,
Yes, sir.
reasonable, and it's impossible.
Yes, sir.
So what are we going to do?
I have my income tax that's pending.
You have 21,000 refund?
No,
No.
10,000. Put the whole 10,000 on there. I gave her copies of the return and stuff.
You've got a $10,000 refund coming?
It's 8,000 and then I got 2,000 coming from family member.
All right, well, that is ordered to be paid when you have it and get it to the probation office to get to the
Yes, sir.
person who's the victim in this case. That will be a great step in the direction we need. Until though the restitution is paid off, we're gonna have to continue to extend the probation. But I don't want her having that really, the only thing I want her to be doing is checking in with you regularly and getting restitution. She doesn't need to be doing any of the other terms and conditions of probation, I don't think, because I'd rather her focus on an income to get the restitution paid to the victim.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Since she's done well up to now otherwise, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know I don't need to, we don't need to be worrying about you. I trust that you're gonna do the best you can. Let's just focus on the money
Yes, sir.
and everything. She's on a inactive type. Or is that what we call it? It's kind of an inactive where the conditions of probation are you have to pay
Mhm.
and just show up regularly so that we keep in contact with you and we've got a grip on your financial situation and we're getting that restitution to the victim.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. So how would we do that?
Okay, first of all, I wanted to see if we could get an amendment so that all payments could go directly towards
I
restitution.
don't see a problem with that. Give it to me, I'll sign
Okay.
it. Thank you. Okay, thanks, Mr. It's done on this day. And
No.
the defendant will sign.
And also, we're looking at having to file a motion in order to keep the case open.
Yeah, that's gonna have to get done.
Okay.
But what happens then is a warrant will be issued for you. I'd rather her to just do this where she comes in and out. She reports to the jail and then they release her for the processing,
Yes.
which has to be done. But whatever the least problematic for her.
talking about, Joe?
Yeah, MTRP,
Just give her.
issue warning, PR bond.
Yeah, the public, personal recognizance. You don't have to post anything. But I want you to get in and out and get back to paying these people because the
Yes. moment
moment it gets paid off, all things being the same, it'll make our head spin. I'll sign it so fast, it'll be like that. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And let me know when that gets done on this payment, because that's a big jump forward.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, what are her requirements on reporting? How often is she going to have to report?
Probably have her report every 3 months.
Every quarterly. Okay. Otherwise, there are the other conditions, pay what you can as quick as you can with that. And we're talking about she's on deferred, right?
It's been adjudicated, so.
It was.
So we don't have any meeting this afternoon, right?
Yeah, 2 years probated for 5, 2 years probated for 5 years. Okay. At the end, then you do well. At the end, the case is just then terminated,
Yes.
and you move on with your life.
Yes, sir.
What else do we need to do today? I'm looking, I don't see anything else. Okay. We'll review it in 6 months.
Okay.
Just a review to see how you're doing.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, good. I think this is good compared to what I had to deal with earlier.
13 times I heard that courtroom door. Now 7 years is what my choices are for. Didn't report, didn't serve my weekend time. Another promise broken, another wasted dime. He said you knew right from wrong, but for others the road is just as long. $25,000 on the page, a 10-year debt that don't fit on a wage. Got a refund coming, gonna pay what I can. It's a heavy price for a flawed plan.